Thank you for saying that. I've been talking for a while there. So let's start that back over. It is Sunday, the 13th of September, and this is Ration Museum Bulletin number 12. And I did this whole rambling like, hey, look, everybody's got a J as their name instead of, except for Gunner. But anyway, um, thanks for letting me know the mic was off. So, howdy, JW Speaker. Howdy, Gunner. Howdy, Jimbo the Clown. Jimbo the Coastie, not Jimbo the Clown. Howdy, Jeremiah Morris. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Howdy, James. See, he got the memo. James got the memo. Oh, wait, you guys missed the memo part. I was saying, like, Gunner, you didn't get the memo. Everybody who's here at the beginning of this stream is apparently going to start with a J. So, and then James shows up too. So there we go. We got James, JW, Jeremiah, and Jimbo, and Gunner. There we go. Just had to throw it off. So we're in the actual archive room today. We're going to see how the connection works in here. Let me know if it gets crappy. We're on the wireless. At some point, I'll put another access point in here or something. But yeah, we'll see if this works. We'll see if this camera stays synced up. It's looking good for now. But yeah, I just moved the wireless as close as I could to going into the ceiling. But we'll see. If we have to go back to the conference room, we have to go back to the conference room. No big deal. But for now, what I'm gonna work on is organizing a bit in here. So let's just get you guys a better view of the actual museum archive room. So we've got mostly organized content with empty cases, very light stuff up on top. So we got cases and crates and things. We got a dead camera, but that brings me to, it's just a leftover from a previous tenant. But brings me to a fun point. I'm going to put a camera in today so that we'll have a 24/7 feed from in here. Well, I mean, maybe not we, but the museum will, and it'll be we, at least with a bot, will pay attention to it, and we'll see if anything ever changes in here. Want to make sure that I'm aware and reacting if anything goes wrong, but also, we want to be aware if, for instance, there's pests or something, and they don't come out often or leave a trace. Because right now, everything's looking very clean. We have a clean laminate floor in here, and it would be pretty obvious pretty quick if anything's going wrong. But anyway, we've got the full cases region down in here. So all these are full cases covering all kinds of different, different chunks of the MRE's lifespan. So, funny enough, pretty much the modern era is what we're missing. We have a lot of mid and early 80s. We've got examples through the 90s where they started breaking up into A and B cases and all that kind of good stuff. So today, going to be going through all of this stuff and sorting it just a little bit better and putting a desk right here, I think, so that we can have a little setup workstation kind of always ready to go. And then maybe think about putting a display in this window, just it's our only real display space for now. But and then putting some utility stuff in our closet, which is currently blocked off. So got a little work ahead of ourselves today. And when I say our, I just mean me today. So yeah, that's civil defense stuff is pretty closely tied in. It's the rations for the people essentially in the Cold War. In the 1960s, it was pretty iffy. So whether or not there was going to be the need for the ability to mass feed the entire country anywhere at a moment's notice if any of the many escalating near conflicts became conflicts. So there were civil defense shelters everywhere. Most major cities had quite a few in their department stores and municipal buildings and schools and all kinds of places would have civil defense stuff down in the basement. So there's still plenty of places that people keep finding, pockets of this stuff, and every now and then somebody finds a new mother lode. So you can always keep an eye out, and you can pick up some of the water barrels. So there's like white and yellow for the writing on the water barrels. We only have the two in white right now, so I am looking for yellow still. And then sanitation kits, there's Mark 1, 2, 3, and 4. I only have a Mark 3, but I should be showing all this stuff while we're talking about it. And then we got a couple examples of the biscuits and the crackers, but none of the hard candy or any of that in terms of just the storage stuff. So that I want to take that pile and I want to move the big cases down along, right in here as an end cap to this, because then I could still easily get around and into the right aisle, and the left aisle will be just fine. And we can put the desk here and all these barrels there. I think that'll work out. Let's see. And all those boxes are full. They're all still safe to stack because they have a full allotment of cans inside of them that'll take all the abuse. I mean, they're meant to get stacked quite a bit deeper than that. Hey, thanks. It's the accumulation of years and years of steady collecting and preserving, and now that we have a space, I just gotta keep working at it. We'll get a fundraiser going soon, very soon, and then this will be a lot more locked in and future proof. And we'll be able to start figuring out how we're going to share it with folks. I've got some ideas for some 21st century exhibits, so it's gonna be fun. Fundraising, we're going to need to come up with the goal amount, come up with a budget that covers, explain every part of what we're trying to get covered with that. Things like just general operating expenses, software, and the actual office overhead itself. So not looking for $1 million. Thankfully, I think we can make the museum operate on 10,000 a year minimum. So that's probably one of the cheapest museums in the world, but it'll be able to at least exist, and then we'll have a space where we can get some gear up and running and start scanning all this stuff in and getting it online, at least while the idea of folks coming in person is going to be hard. So we've got GoFundMe charity, so we've got access to that. That just required that we send in all our 501c3 paperwork and wait for approval, and that way they're not taking the normal overhead or the normal processing costs for doing a fundraiser. The only portion at all that comes out of it, if you go with that route, is the credit card processing, which, as far as I can tell, that's going to be the case pretty much everywhere, is 2 or 3% overhead, which way better than most other fundraising out there in terms of if you're trying to do a Kickstarter, you're only going to get to keep a certain chunk of that. But yeah, so it'll end up being somewhere around like 98 cents out of every dollar, and 97 cents out of every dollar is going to go directly into transparent museum booking, which as soon as we're actually fundraising, we're going to be providing end of year reports for all the money in, all the money out, all that kind of stuff for transparency. We've right now just file a form 990N, which just says, have you stayed within the X range for the year? And since we haven't done any fundraising other than a couple, we raised I want to say around $300 in the Doswell
days back in 2016. We raised a couple $100, which paid for some software, paid for the registered agent for a couple years. So there was certainly a benefit to that. And then the only other income the museum has had has been I've put a few thousand in over the years to maintain some of this. So that won't be forever. So we'll be needing to open up our books and all that fun stuff. So hopefully that answers your question a bit. JW, I think it was, but or I mean Gunner. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But at the same time, it's all just dotting your I's, crossing your T's, following the steps that everybody seems to want to share out there. And I think we've got a good niche. We've got a lot of you guys that are going to help spread the word when it's time to spread the word, and we'll get folks interested. It's not going to be off of our backs entirely. It can't be. That doesn't make sense. We want the whole world to take part in this. So hopefully we get one in 100,000 of them to feel it's worth $1 a year or something, and we'll keep it going, or one in a million, or 10 million. I don't even know. But hey, Smokey, welcome. Oh, thanks for the reminder for thumbs up in the video. So how's Brownie after all the chicken? I assume that's for one of the other one of the reviewers here. Was that what you ended with, Smokey, last night? I caught the first hour and change. But hey, Kaylin. Oh, you were with relatives. Yeah, no worries. It was a holiday weekend. I'm glad you were having a good one. Thank you for sending those in again. Uh, we're going to walk through emergency rations at some point in the future, so you'll get to see them again. But I did show them about an hour and 40-ish minutes or something into the stream last week. I held off and we reached out, but no worries at all. So I know we've got a bunch of just examples of emergency rations throughout the years, so it'll be spotted again. No ill effects. Oh, yeah, cats are resilient. But when in doubt, share the pain. So we're gonna shift some of this stuff. Let's see, this is still running. All right, so I'm gonna see about getting some of these boxes out of the way. Most of this stuff, or this stuff at least, is things that we're reconditioning. Ooh, an empty. So we're gonna have let's see, some of these cases down at the bottom. Oh, you can't see, but that's all right. They're just a stack that was iffy, didn't get into the regular collection. And then we've got these MCIs. Did we walk through these or not? I think we did. Yeah, we did. We took out the one that was already leaking, and that's over here to get worked on. So I'm still got to find a place to put these in general. These are actually, why are they up here? Yeah, you're just going to see me wandering around a little bit more than normal today. Yeah, we're definitely going to have as time goes on, the goal is going to be continue to drum up interest, and then when we get to a point where we can actually afford it. I mean, right now this is as minimal as we can get, just so we're not putting the cart before the horse in terms of being able to afford what we can do. But once we have a bit of a budget, we can look at a retail property or a property where we can actually have some displays set up and people coming in. And there is a spot above us that turns over every year to 3 years or so in this building. So I'm keeping my eye on that, and we'll see when that turns over the next time what they're asking for it. And potentially we could have a goal there. We shoot for it and we do an all or nothing fundraiser on that, and we get it or we don't. But something to that effect. So otherwise we'll likely try and find something in the neighborhood, or maybe get some ground floor offices in this space and still keep it here and have more than one display going in different rooms. Though I'd kind of like having its own entrance and all that. But yeah, bit by bit, the idea is going to be get enough interest going that justifies having an actual space that people can come in and see the whole collection, and have it treated well, and have displays that are worth coming to see. And then we can have events, and we can cycle the collection through over seasons and that kind of thing. Even if we started with one more space this big for displays, we could fill it full of displays and cycle the collection through and have private tours for a while, something like that. Which that's in the cards too. Just having private tours of the collection, in the short term, potentially attached to fundraising. I'm not sure yet, but that'd be, that's something that we're thinking about. Have folks come in and we can pull out all kinds of stuff, and I don't know, but welcome Charles, welcome Gail. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Oh, let's see, I'm gonna get all turned around all over the place this week. So let's see, we've got quite a few of these still. Case fans. This is just a box of miscellaneous case fans for completing that, display properly when taking one of the MPs and setting it up. So case fans, I can put back here. Nope. Still have some stuff in here that came over unsorted, and we need more shelves already, I'm pretty sure. That's all right. That's all right. Let's see. That's another good question, Jimbo. We're gonna need all kinds of stuff. So part of this was just starting to group everything and box everything together, and now we're gonna have to catalog it all, and then we'll have to put up a needs list that says, this is what we have, this is what we don't have. These are the kinds of things that we're trying to find. And there's all kinds of stuff that you just never run into. So of course we're still lacking things like mountain rations. The U.S. mountain ration. We lack all kinds of little World War II era items. Even modern items like dental rations and sundries kits, and a lot of varieties of UGR stuff. Like, never had any like actual boxes or cases for the UGRA or the I think we have a UGRB case. I can't remember if it's a B or an E. So the one, we don't have any for the one that's got fresh items and frozen items. We don't have any for the one that's a great big multi-box setup. We just have the all-in-one. I think that's the E. And then, hey Dubsy, welcome. We've got a 10-man ration from a 10-man ORP from the UK. We've got we've got like a 5-in-1. So other than that, there's, and then a ton of individual trays for UGREs. But there's all kinds of stuff that over time we just don't have. A lot of flying ration variations. There was the U.S. mountain ration was one of those like short run World War II variant ration kind of things, like around the same era as the small detachment 5 persons. So I don't know, even if I don't know the history off the top of my head. I'm sure it's in one of the books around here, but it might have even been one of the ones that got ready, and then by the time it was going into deployment, just war was over. Uh, yeah, there's all kinds of specific ones that were short enough run that they didn't survive for the most part. Um, the reason that you still see K rations and stuff on eBay is they made tens of millions of them. Like tens of millions of them. So versus something that they might have made 35,000 of, as a near prototype run or for a particular purpose, and that's it. So some stuff that you're just not going to see. Howdy, Daniel. Howdy, Ronald. Welcome. We're just doing a little museum archives tidying, just moving some stuff around, figuring out where to put a desk. We got trays, I noticed back here. This is a heater box. Put that back there. Ooh, this is fun. This is can you see that? Almost. There we go. So this is this is 1951 chest, outfit, officers, mess, M 1937. So it's a model 1937 office suit mess. This thing, Korean War era officers mess. So has this case with a little leather band up top. Let's see if you guys can still see. Let me get closer. Let me pull that to the light now that I'm thinking about it. All right. I don't remember if I've pulled this out on the stream before. So, what was from 1961? Oh, jungle rations, or this one's definitely 1951. Yeah. Or do you mean the mountain ration? Oh wow, you're up in Anchorage, Daniel? I was noticing that it's been there was a bit of a cold snap coming through the upper northwest, but I didn't check Alaska's weather this morning. I keep an eye on Montana. I occasionally, pine for going back to the the old stomping grounds. It's probably already snowing up there. Let's see. Oh, the civil defense stuff. Yeah, a lot of these. I've got 61, 62, 63 stuff. Most of them's in that era. All right, so this mess kit. Let's see. So we've got the silverware and salt and pepper shakers in this neat little cubby up top. And it's probably not 100% collection at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a mix, but for the most part, well, I mean, all the same there. So, the neat little salt and pepper shakers. Wait, is there? No. Okay. It's just heavy. So they're empty. They have this neat little locking cap, the ring on the top. So you can make sure that you don't have salt and pepper all throughout your
your mess box after putting it away. I assume this wasn't up to any one officer to take care of. I assume it was with a company or something to that effect. So there's a little strap there that holds that up. It's still in really good condition. Great big serving tray. And there's a set of plates. It's a shallow-ish bowl. Two fairly large serving trays. A set of these cups for everybody. So there's, I believe, 8 of everything. Yeah, there's 8 of everything. 8 of the cups, 8 of the plates, 8 of the bowls. Let's see what chat's saying. 4 proper seasons. Yeah, in Montana, like I say, we didn't have 4. Well, we did. We had 4 seasons like everybody else. We had almost winter, winter, still winter, and construction. But here in Philly, there's spring, summer, winter, fall, and it just keeps repeating like that. It's weird. So let's see. Yeah, no eating out of tins. There's fresh food, bee rations, I would assume. Even if it was in tins, it left and was cooked up and made into something as closely resembling a home cooked meal as they could get. Before the officers had to deal with it. So sorry if you couldn't see before because of the angle. These were the plates and the bowls and the cups. Then there's this little fold out little side section here that had your cream pot, I guess. Now that's just fantastic, that marking. They're not all the same. U.S. Nash on the bottom of the coffee pot. U.S. Miro on the bottom of the 2 serving trays. This one must have been swapped out somewhere later on. This one actually I just noticed says 1956. This one and everything else says 1951. Miro 1952. Prove me wrong immediately. Let's see. The Bullrath Company. That's on all of these so far. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's on the rest of it. So I assume there was something else in that little compartment there that is missing. And it's interesting why that one would get sealed up like that. Unless maybe it was sugar or something. And it was for a little extra protection from bugs, maybe. I'm not sure. But I love this thing. Big old self-contained case. It's got these heavy metal handles on the side. So, just in my opinion, the most interesting mess kit we have in the collection. It's not
it's not the same old canteen and metal pan, though it's very similar. Very similar material. I mean, all the way throughout. It's got that, just aluminum, that feel. Yeah, maybe a butter dish or something to that effect was in there. It would be, a small container. That bigger one might have been for sugar. The one down in the bottom, probably not for cream. Yeah, awesome set for van camping. I'm sure that'd be great. You have everything you need. Very washable, very durable. I'm sure that saw service for decades before it made it into the eBay circles when I picked it up. Let's see. All right, so making some headway. Almost got this stack cleared. So we're gonna move that to right there. Blocking the camera at that point, but that's all right. We'll move it. So some of these civil fence boxes have damaged bottoms from wherever they were before me, and in a stack they're fine, but when they get picked up and moved is the only time they're really in any danger. But it's too big of a stack to try and slide everything. I would likely put some strain on some part of it somewhere, tear something. Speaking of, just making sure what I got is what I think I got here. All right. So I'll just do that. Hey, Smitty, welcome. These last two I'm going to slide. That should be safe enough. The added benefit of putting this on the end cap is you get to look at all the sides together. Well, it's just a little weird. Let's see. That's where that is. All right. So, what I was saying, you got writing on the sides of all these boxes too, and they're not all the same. Like this one's different than the others in terms of the long boxes. So that one's going up next, and then this on top. Put that one up there for now. Yeah, don't underestimate the power of just getting in the woods and having a campfire, Daniel. Last weekend, so over the last couple weeks, been the only ones I had so far this year, and it's just very calming. But this past Saturday night, and then Sunday night, and then again like a week and change before that. Wanted to have another one this weekend, but it didn't work out. But just sitting out and staring into a fire, like I feel like there's a certain amount of time you got to set aside for that every year. Minimum. Okay, here we go. There we are. All right. this. Oh, nope, this was the one at the bottom. Okay, just there. So, this box isn't complete, so we can open it up and show you. This is what we're talking about here. These big old survival biscuits, packed January through April 1963. You know, that's why they're so stale. You kept the can open for 4 months. You're gonna get stale. I'm just joking. Blocking in there. All right, we'll do that. And then, let's see, get a view over here of those in a second. Let's see, where can I put this for now? There we go. Yeah, that works. Second hitch. I don't know that I follow that. What hitch means in that sense. Well, good seeing you, Smitty. Have fun. Let's see. So, getting this cleared up. Just making sure there's nothing jumps out. It's having changed since the last time I handled them, but no, everything seems fine. These bottom ones are 54.5 pounds. It says gross weight 54.5 pounds, but then on the front it says contents 40.5 pounds. Oh, 40.5 pounds contents of the crackers. So there's 14 pounds worth of the cans. Oh, there you are. Going everywhere. So there's 14 pounds of just the cans, huh? That's quite a bit. Let's see. So I was looking at all of these sides there. We've got this still sealed 777 radiation kit that we gotta at some point go through, make sure everything in here is fine, but it's just so neat that it's not even touched. All right, so I was thinking pulling this whole stack. Back up. I was thinking of pulling this whole stack over here. Some tilted bits before. Just bringing this over here. Moving these so they're not right away, I guess. Oh, okay. That back up there. Then put a desk right here, but now that I'm doing that, the desk might be too wide. I don't know, we'll see. Let's see. So, Actually, just going to put it on just that other can for now. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, Daniel. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense when, you got too much of a distance to go back and forth every day or even, just on weekends or whatever. You end up living your work, especially somewhere up, up north. Makes more sense. Got it. Okay, so we've got, this is the box of possibly consumable nut rolls of all varieties. This is all the reconditioned stuff. Desk is under what I've got the laptop on. There we go. That makes, let's see, that makes this difficult. So, where can I stick this for now? Well, you're just going to go back where you were. Just with that camera turned off, I guess. All right, so cases and cases of stuff. And at some point, I want to pause. Let's see, we're at 5:40. So around 6, hopefully we get this desk set up, and then we'll have some surface space, and we can go back to looking at those propaganda ads from, or not propaganda, but war rationing effort and wartime production ads from the World War II era that we were looking at last week. Still got lots and lots of those to see. All right, so. Oh, okay. So this one, it's getting harder and harder to see what's on there, or so I think. Because every time I pick it up, I think it's faded to the point where I just can't see anything at all, and I'm starting to get scared. And then I turn it around and say, "Oh no, it's fine. It's just that this one section was pretty badly, saltwater exposed at some point early on, and took some damage. But this is a U.S. Navy abandoned ship rations for 4. Let's see, life floats and boats. Contents: unknown number of cans. Ends with a 0, whatever it was, of tablet rations. It's those oval tablet ration cans, and they were kind of splayed out like a flower around the center. You can see the indentation or the rust marks from some of them inside here. And then allowance per man per day, 2 cans of tablet rations. So this is one of the coolest ration cases, just because of how unique it is. Great big floating chamber. So, got all these individual locking rings. Smells like oil. Yeah, it smells like motor oil. So each of these would go back in, fall through in the right spot, and then turn and lock, and up and down. There we go. So that, go back here for now. All right, recondition bottle. Over here. Let's see if the desk even fits in that space.
fit. So I think I'm going to put these some defense barrels over in that corner. It's not a great space for anything that isn't about this exact size. And I can put a little shelf indoor display in this window. That makes sense. Okay, that'll work. Now, should have just about enough space to open this up. So, we're looking at a field desk, which I'll admit isn't really ration related, but I've had it for years and years. I love the thing, and just part of the feel of the space to have a little field desk. Fallout shelter at the post office in Conshohocken. I wonder, most of those places you ask and they don't do anything with those rooms. They don't have any need for heavy storage anymore of anything. They were pretty much for that purpose. So a lot of them, the stuff's still just down there. As long as they stay dry. Though I don't honestly know what the general sentiment is around the survival crackers, of the different vintages. I haven't eaten them, so I don't know if they tend to be tolerable or straight up disgusting or what. I just noticed that a lot of them that you see folks finding in exploration videos and stuff, they're just rust, or they're pitted and falling apart. You don't want to risk it. You're not going to, eat a cracker that's been exposed to the elements for 60-something years. Eat a cracker that's in a can, sure. I mean, I'm not condoning, I'm not recommending that anybody eat crackers. They're fine, but still, one of the less dangerous things, I suppose. All right, there we go. So that's it. You got a field desk. There. Actually, now here's one of the neat parts of this. I want to flip this, so I will. So, bring the leg back in and put this back down. And caught on the little metal clip there. All right. Didn't work out exactly right. Let's try that one more time. So there's these two parts to this. What this over? No. Okay. All right. There you go. Then it comes with a little chair. We got desk, field type 1 each. And it is a good chair. It's definitely sturdy. Got a solid little working space. And then you got your file folder space, partition and non. in and out. This one's a lock-in drawer. So yeah, we can start putting some museum paperwork in there bit by bit. But for now, we can move the laptop here and we can set up to show you guys some of those pictures. Production ads. Alright, so switch back to this. Alright, well, don't need the whole thing to be my face. There we go. Alright, so I'll have plenty of power without that for now. Is there outlet over here? Not sure. Not sure. We'll spot one. There we go. Down in there. So just move temporary power. Oh, office maintenance day. You guys are loving it, I'm sure. That's a little further back, but that'll be fine. Thing plugged back in over here. Get laptop back on shore power. All right, I think we're back in business. We got some good gloves we'll put in the drawer here. Full set for looking at the pictures. And yeah, that thing did kind of look like a depth charge. Well, I mean, that's the point. If it's in a ship and the ship goes down, it has a lot of empty space in it on purpose, so it's got a lot of buoyancy. And it's gonna find its way back to the surface violently. So, you know, it's kind of like an anti-depth charge. It'll rip its way back up to the surface and almost pop out. And you were supposed to, you know, gather those up after securing your persons and whatnot on the life rafts. You should be spotting them floating around and can pull them in, so that they didn't have to necessarily have them on all the life rafts. They could stow them all over the ship. And for as useful as they were, that's the only example I've come across. So I'm not sure if other folks have run into those, but when I see a strange ration container, you know, pop up somewhere for, you know, a reason, you know, what I would consider a somewhat reasonable price, I'm just buying it and figure it out later. You know, like, you don't always have the opportunity to turn back the clock and get another shot at these things. But you can't beat yourself up when you don't get one of these
holy grail, super rare rations when you have the opportunity. Sometimes it's worth it just to take a moment and reach out to the seller if it was like a ration, an auction or something, and see if they have more, or see if they have something else, or whatever it happens to be, because you never know. All right, just gonna duck down here, put this back. This back. All right. Now I have an actual set of chairs for in here, but for some reason it just always feels more appropriate on the old chair. All right, so let's see. I'm going to be a little washed out color-wise, but that's all right. We're going to look at these, and they should be pretty good. So let's see. All right. Howdy to anybody that I've missed joining the chat. Just going to get some gloves on. All right. Yeah, there's, it's at least something in that side of the room. We got the stack of barrels back there now. Man, that makes it look like there's quite a bit of distance. It's could almost touch them, but not right. Not quite. All right, let's see. We went through all of these that are just on their own boards. They were probably just the most recent pickups. I need to get a few hundred of these kinds of things. I'm sure would be a better way to store stuff, and maybe a bigger binder. But right now, most of them are together in this larger package. I'm seeing something that got bent under, so let's pull these out and get that fixed. No sharp bends, thankfully. It was just a little bent around the rounded edge at the corner there. All right, let's see. We'll try and get that out of the light. Maybe I should get something to shield it when I have that there. Doesn't matter. Okay. So get that set up a little better. There we go. There's the actual ration ad. I believe this is the side that we did go through. So, yep, I'm just going to skip back ahead to about where we were. Let's see, we saw that one. I believe we saw this one. Let's see, about where did we leave off? Possibly right around here. All right, so I know we saw this one. about sending cookies overseas. All right, this is starting to feel new. Yep. Okay, because I know we would have talked about this, and I know this next one I don't think we looked at either, so it seems to be about where we were. So, just going to straighten these out. Just to avoid having any hanging over the edge again. Okay, so down here in the corner, we've got a particular variety of sea ration can. So these were sea ration M units. So we got meat and vegetable base, meat and vegetable stew, or no, meat and vegetable hash, meat and vegetable stew. Yeah, so made by the Campbell Soup Company. So that's that's a pretty neat one. Oh, let's see. So this camera's definitely out of sync. I can tell. Let's see. You can see both hand. Yeah, look at how. Oh my gosh, look at how far out of sync that is. Yeah, apologies for that. We'll be staring at ads for a bit, so it's they'll stay pretty pretty viewable, even if it's not 100%. Let's see. I wonder why that is. Just the distance to the Wi-Fi, I guess. Like I said, we'll get better Wi-Fi in here so that we can do more in the actual office. But if we have to go next door, we have to go next door. We'll see. This is an actual cover, but U.S. Pilot's Wife, I guess is the title of the December 20th issue of December 20th, 1943 issue of Life. What? No bath salts. um, Cannon Towel Company. You see what looks like in the bottom there a sea ration crate. Westinghouse ad for saving tin. Because it was needed for food cans. DuPont cellophane. Cellophane protects U.S. Army emergency rations. Packaging material used to protect your foods meets extreme conditions in field service. So, again, everything's ramped up for the war effort, and pretty much everything they make is going overseas. And this was a lot of companies' way of, tying the individuals at home to the fight by reminding them that they're sacrificing. They're not getting what they're used to because it's necessary for the war effort. So there's that, just trying to increase the morale at home and camaraderie amongst everybody, but then reminding everybody like, hey, when we're back, we got some good products, in store because we had to make stuff that could be tried and tested overseas, in terrible conditions. So, in this ad, you can see we're looking at the guts of a K ration on this side to some degree. We got the graham biscuits and cigarettes. We got lemon juice powder. We got bullion, dextrose tablets. And then we got the field ration D over here, which had a clear plastic wrapper inside, one of those heavier gauge plastics. I'm sure any that survive will be very, very yellowed, but that's just what age will do. It has nothing to do with exposure to light or anything with that older plastic. Um, but this is a good one. It's a nice ad overall. Great color, just known company. I love these things. Yeah, I don't think we could quite. I mean, I think the American manufacturing effort, should anything happen in terms of like a world war again, I think most companies would flip switches pretty quick and get to work. But yeah, tying the actual people together, it's going to be hard right about now. I think the only thing is, what if like aliens showed up and everybody had to unite against aliens or something? Maybe that. But right now, it's just, yeah. Let's talk about rations. Let's stick to rations for the moment. I'm sure there'll be news later in the night to bring us all back down. um, oh wow, Caitlin, 2C ration cans. Oh, bread and Coke, or bread and a B2. Yeah, I hope they're in good shape. You know, um, we have crates and crates and crates of that kind. Not really. I think I have like one box over here, the B2s. You guys might have seen a couple streams ago. We have quite a few. Maybe 30 or so B2s over the years. Um, I'm always tempted. I look in there. I'm always tempted to just pop one of those open. Now, one thing we do have a lot of for consumption in the future, we've got these breads and uh, chocolate nut rolls. Some of them, I mean, they're in perfect looking shape. So at some point, I want to see if any of those have survived. Yeah, exactly, Kaylin. A lot of companies have switched and made, PPE equipment. Or PPE, I guess the E is equipment, but personal protective equipment and whatnot. They flipped switches pretty quick. But yeah, I mean, in World War II, it was you made cars. Well, great. Now you make tank frames. That it's just overnight. So let's see. Victory Vitamin C. We got another one of these. This should find its siblings. I think I've got them in another collection. So I'm going to pull this. Well, first let's see what it says because these are always great. Um, Even in the tangled wilds of remotest Asia, where secret roads creep closer every day to Tokyo, spelled Tokio, um, in this variant. Um, our men must be armed with vitamin C, and so among these rations, jungle knives and rifles parachuted from the skies are cans of Florida grapefruit juice, rich sources of vitamin C that never fail. It's the commando's fruit. I mean, it's just, I love these. I really love the Florida grapefruit juice ads. Like they were the best. So we'll separate this one because there's a there's four others I think so far that I have in a separate pouch. Dress parade for famous dressing. This is an ad for Durkee's. So see, it's on the right it's Durkee's margarine, but up here it's Durkee's dressing. I guess a salad dressing, a mayonnaise of some sort. Well, maybe mustard. Durkee's shortening, Durkee's coconut, cocoa nut, cocoa. Some of these spellings. So let's see if you guys can see it when it gets down here. Yeah, look right here. Coconut. Coconut. The last one was Tokyo. Old school spelling. All right. These are great. We've all seen these, but you've got an ad directly for them. So this little box at the bottom, you've seen them where it's a little brick of three of them, and you snap them off and set them on fire. It's the wax stove. So it's compressed fuel brick with a waxed paper coating on the outside to keep them dry in a jungle climate. But you'd break off a piece and you'd set it on fire and you'd make your coffee or you'd make your soup. So the 3-ounce wax stove gives GIs more hot meals by Processed Products of Saucony Vacuum Company. So the Saucony Vacuum Corporation, I guess during the war, had a offshoot that produced these wax stoves. Just, back to what we're talking about, being able to switch gears and say, I could physically make this happen. So here's another DuPont cellophane ad that highlights the D ration again. Sorry that my hand motions are out of sync. Again, it seems fine, so not going to make a big deal. Highlights hard candies and caramels and the ration type D. Candy is a fighting food. Food fights for freedom. This was a common ration poster around the country. Another Campbell Soup ad with the C ration cans, the M units. Now the M units pretty much don't survive. If they had been emptied out or if they rusted straight through the bottom and have like a dried husk of what was inside, sure, but they pretty much don't survive. I'm sure there's an example or two to prove me wrong there out there in the world, but they just, it's one of those things that just bit by bit we got better at. And in the 1940s, putting meat in a can in liquid wasn't something we were great at yet. So almost none of them made it past the 70s or 80s, I'm assuming, about the point where they all just gave out. But the next generation, the RCIs, they weren't much better in terms of the actual meat and juices and that kind of stuff surviving, but they were better. There are some where those cans didn't corrode through in the examples that I've seen so far. But at this era, not so much. So, this is an ad for the food, not for the quality of the metal. So, that will look at one of the, that's for the other ads to touch on. This one's about how good the food is because it's made by Campbell's. And it's highlighting the campaign in North Africa. This is a good one. I mean, it's now I'm not sure if that's the original quote and it's been getting changed, or if it's the other way around, because I've always heard stomach. But pardon us, Napoleon, we'd say it's on its packages, and then it's the Package Machinery Company. Over 250 million packages per day are wrapped on our machines. That's substantial. 250 million packages a day, 250 million boxes every single day. We're moving through the Package Machinery Company of Springfield 7, Massachusetts. I guess for the sake of the post office or the addressing, especially city names like Springfield, maybe that was common. If as opposed to the postal code, maybe there wasn't a postal code for everywhere yet. I'm not sure, but I know Pennsylvania has like a dozen Springfields. There's, that's part of the reason that the Simpsons picked that town name, was that there's like over 100 of them in the United States. Oh, I mean, and this isn't a dig on anyone at all, but throughout this whole pandemic, I keep hearing things about like, oh, now we have our major life event like everybody that went through World War II, and I think it's insulting, to a huge degree to everybody that went through World War II. I mean, just all over. It's not, we aren't sacrificing anywhere near the level that specifically Americans had to sacrifice, and Americans at home compared to Britons at home, compared to Australians at home, compared to, the Polish at home. Like, Americans had it pretty good during World War II, but the sacrifices Americans made during World War II compared to the sacrifices of the last year, there's no comparison. It doesn't hold a candle to what people had to go through in terms of living without and doing without and making do, and in terms of family uncertainty and hardship and heartache and all that kind of stuff. We had to stay inside for a while and watch Netflix. It's a little different. Um, let's see. So, package machinery company. Sorry, I get heated about this stuff. I'm not trying to. I'm certainly, I'll keep that level of political fervor and emotion out of the museum, and as much as I can. It's not, you know, I don't want to, put any focus on anything other than the rations here. But yeah, I think it ties directly in to rationing and sacrifice as we look through all these ads and talk about it. So sorry, I guess there is a point to bringing it up over and over here. So we're talking about war bonds in this one. The Dutch boy goes along on a landing party. National Lead Company. And all throughout here. So this is a great one. This is your ration stamps mean rations for him. The metal you do without makes the guns he can't do without. Helps stretch rubber so he'll have a gas mask. Every little piece of his outfit has something by it. The war bonds you buy make him the best equipped soldier in the world. The shoe leather you do without will carry him to Berlin. It's just, yeah, trying to remind everybody. And this is not a ration ad, but it's a good ad for Paul Jones whiskey, I believe. Yeah, whiskey. So on the other side of this, there's the ration ad. More than 75,000 women in the war services today. You can join now. First choice Chesterfield for mildness and better taste. You can't buy a better cigarette. So, military cigarette ads. There we go, another one. From here to victory, it's Chesterfield, the cooler, better tasting, definitely milder cigarette. Definitely milder. Our scientists say so. Between every drag, there's a level of mildness they've come to expect. Oh wow, yeah. Finding a World War II Army helmet's getting harder, but they're out there. A lot of European-made variants that were Allied style. Look exactly like the U.S. ones. I have a Danish one myself. It's that it's not. I don't consider it like a museum piece by any means. It's just a personal item. My World War II helmet. I've worn it at Burning Man many a time. It's pretty beat up at this point, but it's I can see why your son would want one. It's just it's part of history, and then it's also a cooking pot, a shaving pot, a bathroom. It's everything. Oh yeah, yeah, Smokey, the Chesterfield ads. I'm sure you'd like these. I think I might have some more cigarette ads amongst. Oh yeah, okay. There's more coming up. Let's see, here's not a cigarette ad, but this one's got the World War II mess kit in it, the model 1945, and a 5-in-1 ration down in the corner. So which neat picture because you can see opening the top of a 5-in-1. Could you imagine opening one and having it look like that? All shiny and gold and silver and olive drab. just clean, ready to go. I mean, I can't. Let's see. Over here, I've got just two boxes in a box. Let's switch to that one as the main. So we got menu 2, second half of 5 rations. And then I'm going to leave these folded in. The fewer times that they have to bend, the better. You can see it's a second half up top. We've got the cardboard style marking on the side, the specification. We're used to what, VS now, or of course now I don't have one in sight, but this is W5S. W board grade 5 type S complies with specification Gen P108. So this doesn't feel waterproof. Bottom says second half. So sorry, I should have said these are the 5-in-1. And this is a much better shaped much better shaped box because it had been cut and folded and made into this little box that was stuffed in the bottom of was it a ration small detachment 5 persons? Something like that. Oh, thanks, Smokey. Yeah, half these things. It's I just hear that voice in the back of my head, and I'm certain that someone somewhere was belting it out. Like, just look at how clear and crisp this set is. But yeah, it's been cut down the sides and was folded over, so all the edges are cut, and I just have a piece of foam holding it open. But yeah, there. So, like I said, I can't imagine opening the top of one of those boxes and having it be in perfect shape, inside, because all I have of the whole era are those two empty boxes, let alone an outer box or the wooden variety or anything like that. Because it was a cardboard box inside a wooden crate. Probably not every single one of them, but that same with the K ration, there was that variant. All right, so one more cigarette ad. Let's see. So the Army ad's actually on the other side, and I wonder how many of these have cigarette ads on the back. But I know, this one's I'm showing these just for you, Smokey. So old gold cigarettes from Apple Honey, or freshness from Apple Honey. But all right, let's see. This camera being a little behind is getting a little annoying, just because I can't tell when I've got it lined up. All right. Here's a Procter & Gamble one. Our fighters are lean and lanky, but they can't fight without fat. 29 planks, all doing their part. Procter & Gamble, 107 years serving our country in peace and war. So this is glycerin, cellulose, edible fats and oils, soapless suds for war, industrial soaps, materials for lubricants, vegetable oils, and loading shells are the industrial applications of Procter & Gamble fats that they want to remind you of. There's another Campbell soup one for the M units and the C rations. The can of food you cannot get reminds you America's canners are supplying fighting food for our fighting men. and just the hey, sorry, lady, no, wait, where is it? Oh, there we go. Sorry, we don't have cans here because they're overseas. Ah, now it's behind, and it's just not gonna work. Sorry, I'll stop. But there we go. Hey, Chris, welcome to the stream. Yeah, right. I mean, think about like we know the history. We know the history of it. Much better than the folks at home did during the war. It's not like they were getting the absolute most accurate updates at home. They got the general idea of it, but if anything ever went poorly, it wasn't immediately communicated in gory detail. So, for instance, like the Battle of the Bulge, it wasn't widely known, how bad folks were, uh, cut off and rough, and dealing, and how bad the hypothermia and the starvation was starting to be, and that sort of thing, around uh, right around Christmas, and everything. It's a good point that in a lot of these instances, when they get back to an operating unit after being cut off in World War II, and the first thing they get is a Campbell's soup made can of beef and beef and barley or something in a sea ration. It was fantastic. They were going ape for it. American Medical Association. Let's see, American Meat Institute in Chicago. That's who sponsored this one. This is meat on the table for a secret destination. The 5-in-1 ration provides a day's meals for 5 men. So, there we go. Armor Company. So, trying to guess what the heck some of these things are. It looks like creamed corn and like cornbread or something, but it's talking about how to get your measure of eggs. So I'm assuming it's different types of like scrambled eggs cooked up in trays. I'd love to get more of the larger scale serving stuff from World War II, like the big ovens and trays and all that. When we're more than a closet and a basement, of course. That's the other thing. We're already pretty full. Like, gotta you know gotta have a bit of time to spread out before we start looking for some of the bigger stuff like field kitchens and ovens and all that. But let's see. Got Field Ration K by Mobile Gas Saccone Vacuum or Saccone Vacuum Company again. So let's see, they were probably Packers. Let's see, a very special wax. Ah, here we go. That's where we come in for a very special wax, which makes that wrapper possible. Ah, got it. It's a waterproof, dustproof, gasproof wax wrapper. So you see a World War One canteen there on the side. Um, some World War One gear. This might have been in between, but yeah, talking about the impermeable gas or gas-proof effects of the waxed exterior of the K rations. Some of them. I don't think the Cracker Jack ones were. Oh, you got some old gold military. Nice. Sanka coffee. No, I don't think that's the. Up here we go. New foods, new ideas for a better world. General Mills. That's Kix, Cheerios, Wheaties, Bisquick, Gold Medal Flour, Soft Silk. V containers of boxboard made with waterproof Plascon resin glue. So this is kind of similar to that meat ashore from last week. It's another one just reminding folks that, or I mean, yeah, I mean everything's reminding everybody, but here's a good reminder for us that the 5-in-1s, you know, specifically were ready to be just shoved off a ship in bulk, you know, when the tide was going in on an island and the supply ship wasn't going to be making it in. So you could just shove them off and they would wash up on shore and they'd be good to go. This is a great one. Little. So this is just, I like this ad so much because it's one of the only like real, you know, it's hamburgers cooked up after being cut out of the actual ration can with, you know, the stamp visible on the top and the torn metal edges and all that. You know, this one's just a great ad, and it's, you know, it's really clear. I know this. Oh, shoot, let me just give this a bit of a buff there, but you know, this camera's not the greatest, and the stream quality's not the greatest, but you know, the ad is going to be one of those things that you'll have to see in person someday. But it's just, you know, it's a really good photo. Um, it's a lot. It's washed out here. It's the red there is extreme. It's a really deep red. It's really nice looking. Sorry, but overall, I love this ad just because it's, you know, look at the can, like the cut edge on the inside, you know, the inside lip there. It's just, you know, it's the only one like it that I know of. And that would have been 1944, just from the 44 on the can stamp. Okay. I I'm trained at this point to just completely ignore my phone during the stream, like it's the plague. So I felt the buzz, but I didn't. I wasn't gonna check. So let me open that up, Smokey. Ah, there we go. Oh, not on, not in focus at all there. Let's see. There we go. That's a little better at least. Nice. Ooh, rich sweet chocolate bar. We got a desert bar up there. What's right next to that? For victory by war bonds. What's the what's in the war bonds case there? Right next to the right next to the old golds. I'm pretty sure I've got some old gold cigarettes somewhere. One of these boxes. We had a box of cigarettes out last week. I'll have to make sure those get labeled. The sundries are still the hardest things. Let's see, this is U.S. Steel. assume this is it. Here we go. Why do they make Army field kitchens out of steel? Because you can't beat steel for efficiency. USS Steel. United States Steel. So that's that whole brick of ads that we started last week. I believe there's a whole additional one after this. Let's see, that's that one that had a bit of a bend to it. Gonna want to put back the Victory Vitamins, or put the Victory Vitamin C with its brothers in a second. Let's see, that's this set, I believe. Yep. Victory Vitamin C collection continues to grow. Definitely gonna need to get better situation for all these at some point. There are a lot of them. There we go. Nothing sticking out, nothing bending. There we go. And we have this last collection. Let's see what's in here. All right, let's see. Duplicate. Maybe that's what this is. There's a couple times where I was certain I didn't have something and snatched up another copy. No, okay, I don't think these are all duplicates. I don't recall looking at one like this in any of the other sets. It's about the actual tools developed, but it might be, let's see, also the cellophane on the back. Yeah, the cellophane, you see the K ration up in the corner. You know, that little cellophane square brick on the one side of every K ration. Cellophane wrapped ammunition charge of some kind, cellophane in a gas mask. But, you know, this is an ad for the actual shovels and the mess kits and that kind of stuff, so that's good too. And then here's the same cellophane ad again, so, and, oh, okay. So that, I probably got two of those so that both could be shown, because they're, both sides are, I would say, ration related. So there we go, that would be why that would be a duplicate. This is a neat Firestone ad. That's not what the well, actually, now maybe that's part of why this set is separate. Maybe they're a little harder to class because there's stuff on both sides that is pretty directly related. What's in the middle here? This has got, wow, big old computer ad was in the middle of that one, but I mean pre-computer computer. Chocolate is a fighting food, Nestle's. I don't know if that one's a duplicate of the one we saw elsewhere. Here's another Nestle's. Army Type D emergency ration is a chocolate bar, also by Nestle's. On the home front in the services, they're drinking Libby's vitamin-rich tomato juice for good nutrition and grand flavor. Libby packs a greater variety of foods under one label than any other company in the world. Libby's tomato juice. Ooh, there's another Chesterfield ad. Definitely not a duplicate. Where a cigarette counts most, it's Chesterfield. Mildness and taste, that's what the real pleasure of smoking adds up to. Dextrose is a selected sugar in the rations of the U.S. Army. Let's see, who is this by? The Corn Products Refining Company of New York, New York. Have a camel on us. Your T-zone. The T-zone. T for taste. And T for throat. It's the final proving ground of any cigarette. Only your taste in your throat can tell you which cigarette tastes best to you, how it affects your throat. On the basis of the experience of millions of smokers, we believe that camels will suit your T-zone to a T. Oh, God. Anything to distinguish. Another Milky Way ad. Snack for a whack. How to pull a hot dinner out of a Jeep. Another Campbell's soup ad for cooking the M ration. Or I mean the M unit right on the engine block. Many a soldier on field duty tucks his can of Army rations under the motor hood of his Jeep. When mealtime rolls around, there is chow warm and ready for roadside eating. So yeah, drive around with your meal all day and you're ready to go. I mean, unless it explodes. Or if you pop a hole in it so that it doesn't explode, hopefully it doesn't taste like motor oil by the time you're done driving around. And the back of this one was a bird's eye ad. Not military, just bird's eye. All right, get these packed back away. So I'm sure there's one or two out there that aren't packed with the rest of these that I'll come across, but I think that's the collection. We've walked through however many that was across last week and this week. Gonna have to recount at some point because the last number I had was 56, and I'm pretty sure there's quite a few more than that by now. But going through them nice and slow. It may only be 50 something. Got them all on boards. There we go. Let's double check. Hey, Shocker, how goes? Loading ammo? Well, keep busy then. Don't bother or stopping to chat, or you'll get out of your rhythm. You just gotta keep a rhythm when you're loading. Yeah, or falls off the engine block. Exactly, Kalen. You get to where you're going and you're like, oh boy, dinner's ready. Oh, hey, where'd it go? Plenty of holes in the bottom of your engine compartment. Yeah, all of those ads are original. Every single one of those are 70 plus years old at this point. So that's the thing. There's a pretty solid collection there, so I want to get them all scanned in, and then I think getting some of those circulated as copies, depending on what permissions involved. Getting some posters out on some of them would be cool. Like the Victory Vitamin C set. I'm sure there's plenty of folks out there that would like to have that whole collection hung on the wall somewhere. Especially somebody who works, with grapefruit in Florida or something. I don't know. Let's see. I may. Let's do a little more organizing. I was going to say I may cut short this week, but there's still plenty of organizing to do in here. So let's see. Well, there's also installing a camera. Got to do that somewhere. For now, I could just put it here, and I know it would work. Oh, up there. I don't have separate power up there. Just little things to figure out bit by bit. I'm glad you guys liked all the ads, though. It's one of those neat little sections of the museum collection that there's quite a bit too by itself. I mean, if we were to put them all up on the walls, you need a pretty big space just to get them all up. I dug this out of personal storage and brought it in. We got a light box, same one I used to use for ration reviews. So can start doing new ration pictures. So we're going to be setting this up. Maybe right here since we have a space, but I think I need another table. Let's see, gotta get out this camera. Get this thing installed. So I was using an old, I was using it new at the time, years and years and years ago. This little GE X55 or something camera, but nowadays just what's in our cell phones is 10 times better. So I'm gonna start retaking pictures and seeing how everything turns out. But yeah, I think I am gonna end a little earlier than normal this week, just shy of 2 hours. But I'm gonna be climbing up and trying to get this this thing installed and just shifting boxes around for a little bit, and then I'm gonna head out of here. But I wanted to show you guys the rest of these and try a stream from inside the actual archive room. So a success. I think it was a good time. I hope everybody had a great time too watching through that. And like I said, we'll get these scanned and up, and then hopefully you can take your time and walk through them and get all the detail that's hiding that you just don't get when I'm just going page by page, 30 seconds each. So with that said, thanks again for everybody for coming out for another weekly bulletin. It's been a fun one, and welcome to the first one from actually inside here. But we're still looking for a bunch more volunteers uh, in a bunch of different areas before we get everything ramped up. Right now, we're still in the putting teams together phase, so not giving everybody tasks just yet. But if you haven't yet and you think you might have some time, check out below the stream. There's some information, some links. Make sure to follow the Twitter, and anybody wants to just reach out. Feel free to contact us at volunteer@rationmuseum.com or Sean@rationmuseum.com. And have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Whoop. Coming back just to say, wait. Oh, and howdy, Marilyn. Just caught you at the end there saying hello, goodbye. But didn't wanna leave you out. So howdy and goodbye, everybody.